everybody is doing well. So this is the August update for my age domain case study. Just to quickly start off to say that I am going to be launching a second case study. So it's another age domain project, and it does have pretty decent domain authority. I think this one should hopefully be quite interesting. There's a lot of good things about the domain, a lot of things that I kind of like from a niche perspective as well. So I'll cover that in a kind of separate video series and YouTube playlist. That will probably come out over the next sort of month or two, but it's already kind of started in the background. So I'll kind of do maybe a intro video for that separate project and the plan going forwards. Coming back to this project, so we got 10 articles published for the month of August, just over 15,000 words of content in total. So that's now brought the site up to 201 articles published, which means we've hit the initial goal of 200 articles published across the site, which is good. In terms of other things, I haven't really done too much else on the site over the month of August. I did set up a few social media profiles for the site, like Twitter and so on. And I also set up some like site email addresses just to kind of tailor the contact us page a little bit. Like I basically created a main site email address and then made a few alias ones, so it just looks a bit more genuine, the site, versus slapping on one of these kind of contact us forms that most sites use. I don't know if it will kind of do anything in terms of eats, but it only took me like 10-15 minutes to do everything, so it seemed something that was potentially worthwhile doing. The site as a whole, so traction and traffic, it's not very exciting still. It's very similar to last month. So yeah, it's still kind of in that phase. I am looking forward to the day when we can kind of do an update with where there's been massive growth taking place and the site's really got that uphill kind of push, but it's not going to be this month, unfortunately. So I'm going to go over the Google Analytics and Search Console and AHREFS information over the next few slides, but just an initial heads up, there's no kind of massive boost in traffic, unfortunately, as it stands. So still very much a game of patience, it seems, with this particular project. In terms of going forward, so my initial plan was to get the site to 200 articles published and just kind of let it sit a little bit to see where it's at by the end of the year, and then look at doing some article updates, going back through Search Console data, and updating a batch of articles to see if it kind of pushes them up a little bit. I'm still planning to do the update part, but I'm kind of having second thoughts about just stopping completely in terms of publishing, and I don't think it's potentially a good idea to do so. So I think I'm going to look at continuing publishing, but just really scale it back a little bit until I see traction to really justify it. So I'm probably going to look at potentially posting, one article a week, or I might even just do 3 articles a month, just so from Google's perspective, it can see the site is still active, and I think that is still quite important to send that signal. With all of these things, nobody really knows. Everybody's guessing, but I just think personally that it makes sense to do so, especially how far in I am with the site anyway. Adding another few articles each month until the end of the year. It's not really going to make a massive difference in terms of cost, looking at where we are currently. So Search Console, this is year to date Search Console data. So there's not really too much to report. If you look at last month, July versus August, I mean you can see that the impressions have increased slightly. Clicks is it's kind of all over the place, spiking up and down. So there's not too much data here, but I mean there's certainly not that big hockey stick uptrend that I'm kind of patiently waiting for. And I think the average position has gone up slightly versus last month as well, which is fairly positive. Google Analytics, this is year to date. So again, we did get a very small little bump up, I think, towards the end of July, but it's still remained very, very flat at this level. Again, yeah, not too much really to report on this one. Google Analytics month versus month. So this is July versus August. Slight increase, not really what I'm looking for, but it's in the green, which is good. But I mean, we've kind of got sessions and page views are up around 7%. Again, not fantastic, but I mean it's still going up, albeit very, very slowly. AHREFS data. So I did have a bit of a blip with the DR. I'm not really sure what that's about, but it's kind of gone. It went down and then sort of immediately back up. So no idea what that was. Organic traffic's kind of showing us up on here, but I'm not really going to take a lot of notice of that because the data is usually pretty off in AHREFS, and I think also SEMrush as well. So I'm mainly looking at the organic keyword kind of growth. That's really the main tracking factor here for me. So the organic keywords have increased by another 1,000, which is that's reasonably positive. It is still very, very slow though in terms of target keywords and keyword variations actually showing up and ranking or getting impressions. So the new articles, they all still get indexed pretty much immediately. But for this new site, it's kind of acting like a fresh domain in some ways, where you publish something and you've got to wait a really long time before you even start getting any kind of traction or rankings, even for the main target keyword. So it's a little bit strange. I mean, maybe that will change over time, but it's still kind of following that slow trend. But as long as it keeps trending up, whether it's slow or whatever, as long as it keeps going up month for month, then that's positive. So looking at organic keywords, I've still just got 1 to 10 and 1 to 20 on here. I should really add 1 to 3 positions, but it's just not there's not enough exciting data at the moment. But maybe I'll add it. So for positions 1 to 10, we've gone from 209 to 310, which is positive. And from position 1 to 20, we've gone from 507 to 820. So some of the keywords are slowly jumping up. I think a lot of the keywords that are sitting, on the first page or top 10, they are still down towards the lower or mid side of the SERP. So, you can say between positions like 5 to 10, but they are slowly improving in rankings. I try not to check AHREFS too much, but usually I check in just to see how the organic keywords are doing, and it is generally trending up, which is positive. So yeah, hopefully that trend continues, and we just keep ranking for more and more organic keywords, and more importantly, they keep pushing up to the top 10 positions. P&L file, everybody's favourite, apart from mine in its in its current state. But this is where we are currently. So as always, the only real change, should I say, on here is just the content cost. So we had another 10 articles added to the site. So the total now is increased to the 22K mark. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it for August. Hopefully September will be a little bit more positive. I know the Google updates still rolling out at the moment. This helpful content update, so be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. Um, I don't know. So far, I can't really see much impact across any of my sites, and hopefully, nobody listening has been impacted by any of the updates recently. I think the product update seemed to be quite brutal. I think that caught a lot of people. So yeah, hopefully everyone's site's doing well. And yeah, thanks again for following on, and I'll catch you guys in the next month update.